What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ravi Wadden, and in this video, we're going to be talking about an amazing pre-negotiated lease deal on a 2024 Volkswagen ID4 on DriveMatch.com. So here's a breakdown of how this video is going to go. The first thing we're going to do is look at the manufacturer's offer on the 2024 Volkswagen ID4, and the manufacturer's offer is actually really good. And then what we'll do is we'll compare the manufacturer's offer to the Volkswagen ID4 offer on DriveMatch.com. The purpose is to communicate the fact that the manufacturer's offer doesn't always exist at car dealerships. And I also want to communicate that you can beat the manufacturer's offer with a pre-negotiated lease deal on DriveMatch.com. And don't worry, we'll go over all of the little details like the mileage, the vehicle location, where it can be shipped to, where it can be picked up from, the color, etc. And then in the second part of this video, what we're going to do is run the 1.25% rule of leasing on this Volkswagen ID4. And for those of you that aren't familiar with my 1.25% rule of leasing, it's just a rule of thumb that I use to determine whether or not a particular lease deal is a good lease deal in terms of value. And then in the third part of this video, what we'll do is we'll compare the monthly lease payments on DriveMatch.com to the finance payments if you were to finance or purchase this Volkswagen ID4. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about. If you guys could like this video and give me a follow or a subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the computer behind me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here on the left-hand side, I have Volkswagen or VW.com open, and on the right-hand side, I have DriveMatch.com opened up. Now, the current zip code I'm using for VW.com is 11101. It's a New York area or New York City area zip code. And as you can see, the current offer, the regional offer from Volkswagen.com on a 2024 ID4 standard is $229 a month. It's a 36-month lease, and that's after the $7,500 EV tax credit. You'll also notice that you have $4,999 due at signing, and this excludes tax, title, license options, and dealer fees. Now, if we go ahead and look at the fine print, we'll have a lot more information. Now, as you can see, this lease payment is based on an MSRP of $39,735. And you'll also note that the amount due at signing includes your first month's payment, your customer down payment of $4,039, and an acquisition fee of $699. And you also notice that this is a 36-month lease that allows for 36,000 miles or 12,000 miles a year. And if you go over that 12,000 miles a year, you're going to be charged an excess mileage penalty of 20 cents a mile. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be completely honest with you. This is an awesome lease deal in terms of value. But the problem with these manufacturers' offers is that they are not dealer offers. So for example, if I lived in New York City or New Jersey or Connecticut or any of those Northeast region states, if I go to my Volkswagen local dealership, I may or may not get this deal. And that's where DriveMatch comes in. We've already pre-negotiated lease deals on behalf of the consumer. And oftentimes, and in most cases, our pre-negotiated lease deals, as you can see on this right-hand side over here, are better than the manufacturer's offer. So let's go ahead and review our offer on DriveMatch.com. So right now you can lease a Volkswagen ID4 Standard on DriveMatch.com with a total due at signing of $3,000 plus a DriveMatch fee of $500 for a total of $3,500. But ladies and gentlemen, our $3,500 includes your first month's payment. It includes all dealer fees. It includes your state registration fees, and this could be $1,000 or more just on its own. And it includes all acquisition fees and any taxes on rebates. So as you can see from the dealer's website, you have $4,999 due at signing, and this excludes tax, title, license, options, and dealer fees. This could easily equate to, $1,000, $1,500, even up to $2,000 depending on where you live. Meanwhile, here you only have $3,500 due at signing, which is already lower than the $5,000 here that you see. And this includes everything. You will not be paying a penny more than $3,500 due at signing. And another cool thing with DriveMatch.com is that you can actually roll this $3,500 into your lease, making it a true sign and drive. Whereas here, it depends on the dealer. And that's another advantage of using DriveMatch.com. Now, you'll also see that the monthly payment on the DriveMatch ID4s are $199 a month, We have 2 of them currently in stock, available to anyone who's interested, compared to a monthly payment of $229 a month, which is $30 more. Now, the Drive Match offer, as you can see, is a 24-month offer that allows for 10,000 miles a year. This allows for 12,000 miles a year, but you can make this a 12,000 mile a year lease, and it would increase the payment to $215 a month, which is still about $15 lower than the manufacturer's offer. Now, if we look at the details of this Volkswagen ID4 Standard that's on DriveMatch.com, you'll see that the exterior color is pure white, and we also have a silver mist metallic available. If we go back to the pure white, you'll see that the interior color is stone. If we take a look at the packages, you'll see that the rubber mat kit is included. The vehicle location is in Maryland, and this lease deal is available for residents of Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Maine, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and South Carolina. Now, even though this deal is located in Maryland, you can still get this car shipped to any of these states listed here for a small fee. And if you want to pick up this car in Maryland in person, you do not have to pay a delivery fee. You can pick it up in person for free. And another cool thing about the Drive Match offer is that this vehicle also has a higher MSRP than the manufacturer's offer. The vehicle MSRP on the Drive Match car is a little over $41,000, whereas the manufacturer's offer is on a car with a lower MSRP of $39,735, as you can see right here. And ladies and gentlemen, hypothetically, if I wanted to lease this car on DriveMatch.com, I would just click right here where it says lease for $199 per month. That would take me to this page. I would go ahead and review all of the details, read some of this fine print. I would hit to I agree to pay the Drive Match fee, and then I would just place order and pay the $500 fee. Now, if you wanted to make any adjustments to your lease, like maybe get a 12,000 or a 15,000 mile a year lease, we would do that on the back end after you secure your lease on DriveMatch.com by placing an order. Now, in this part of the video, what I want to do is run the 1.25% rule of leasing on this Volkswagen ID4 that is currently on DriveMatch.com. And the 1.25% rule of leasing is just a value metric that I use to determine whether or not a particular lease deal is a good deal in terms of value. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, this Volkswagen ID4 is an incredible value. Now, to run the 1.25% rule of leasing, I'm going to bust out my handy dandy calculator, and I'm going to take the duet signing amount of $3,500. As you can see, it's a duet signing of $3,000 plus the Drive Match fee of $500. And then what I'm going to do is subtract the base monthly payment from this amount of $199, since that's already included in the $3,500. And when I do that, I get $3,301. Now what I'm going to do is divide this by 24, and what that does is takes that duet signing amount and breaks it into 24 equal parts, since this is a 24-month lease, and that gives me $137. Now what I'm going to do is add the monthly payment of $199 back into this amount, and that gives me a monthly pre-tax payment of $336 a month, and that's assuming nothing due at signing. That's an effective monthly payment. This is a true sign and drive monthly payment of $336 a month. So if you live in the state of New Jersey where there's no sales tax on EVs, this is what you'd pay a month on this Drive Match deal. Now, to account for sales taxes, I'm just going to multiply this by 1.1, which would account for 10% sales tax. Now, typically, the sales tax is going to be lower than 10% where you live, but I just like to take a conservative approach. And if I multiply this by 1.1 to account for 10% sales tax, I get a monthly payment of $370 a month, and that's with $0 due at signing, and that's also including a 10% sales tax. And now what I'm going to do is divide this by this vehicle's MSRP, which is a little over $41,000. So I just divide this by $41,000. And then what I'm going to do is multiply this by 100 to move the decimal point over 2 spots. And that gives me 0.9%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sub 1% lease deal. Now, the way my 1.25% rule of leasing works is that anytime your monthly payment with $0 down or $0 due at signing, including taxes, is less than 1.5% of the vehicle's MSRP, that's a good lease deal. That's a car that I would definitely consider leasing. If it's less than 1.25% of the MSRP, if my monthly payment is less than 1.25%, That's a great lease deal. That's a car that I am definitely leasing. And anytime your monthly payment with $0 due at signing, including taxes, is less than 1% of the vehicle's MSRP, that's an amazing lease deal in terms of value, ladies and gentlemen. And this Volkswagen ID4 is not only a sub 1% lease deal, it's hitting at 0.9%, making it an incredible value. And this is part of the reason we created DriveMatch.com. You see a lot of people look at the manufacturer's offer or a manufacturer offer like this and like, oh, this is an amazing lease deal. And they go and take this deal to a dealer, and most dealers won't honor it. And if they do try to honor it, they're not anywhere close to these numbers that you see on the manufacturer's offer. And by the time you find a dealer, if you do find a dealer that will offer or honor this deal, you've spent dozens of hours, you've spent multiple weeks trying to find this deal. And that's what DriveMatch is looking to solve. We had this deal. It's better than the manufacturer's offer, and you don't have to waste countless hours trying to get the deal. All right, so in this part of the video, what I want to do is compare the monthly finance payments if you were to finance this car to the monthly lease payments. And as you can see, I used an auto price of $41,000. I used a loan term of 72 months, an interest rate of 0% because that is the current offer from Volkswagen.com. No cash incentives, no down payment, no trade-in value. I used New York with a sales tax rate of 8%, and I included title, registration, and other fees of $2,300. And when I hit calculate, you get a monthly payment of $646.94. And that's compared to a monthly payment on DriveMatch.com for the same exact car with the same exact price of $370 a month. And this includes everything. This includes the taxes, and it assumes nothing paid out of pocket, a true sign and drive. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, hey, Ravi, nobody's paying full price for these Volkswagen ID4s. They're discounted like crazy. Okay, let's just say that you got it for $31,000. Let's say you got 25% off, or roughly 25% off, which is probably unheard of, but let's just assume you get it for $31,000. Your monthly payment is still going to be $496.94 compared to $370 a month on DriveMatch.com. Now, a lot of you might be saying, but Ravi, when you finance the car, you own it. Well, guess what? When you get the car on DriveMatch.com, or even if you get it from Volkswagen dealership, you still have a buyout option at the end of the lease term. So if you really love the car, if you want to keep it longer than 24 months, you can do so. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget about the gas savings when you own an electric car. If you have a level 2 charger at home, your monthly bill to charge this car to drive 10 or 12,000 miles a year would be roughly $40 to $60 a month, depending on where you live. And if this car had an internal combustion engine, you're looking at a gas bill of at least $150 to $200 a month, assuming the same mileage. But with that, I'm gonna call it a video. If you guys have any questions about leasing a Volkswagen ID4 or any questions about DriveMatch.com, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.